Hello everyone, Hamas28 here, and today we're back in the world of Prominence. Oh, good thing I wasn't standing under that ice spike. So we're here at the Undead Tower because I noticed that you can actually stand in between both of the spawners, like right here, to get both of them to spawn, and then using only water, I'm able to redirect these wither skeletons to float on over here, go up there with some soul sand to where we can easily collect them. So now if we use our potion of ancient knowledge here, I'm not sure how many are actually in here, counting with the swords. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A good amount. 1, 2, 3, more than 5. Let's see how much XP we can get from slaying these guys. Alright, cool. So from like level 20 something to 53, and we got another leveling point. Really cool. Throw that into stamina. Now I need the XP because I spent quite a little bit of time gearing up so that we can finish off the Night Lich. That includes getting the Ranger gear and a new bow, which you might have seen in my inventory, called the Gale Force bow. I was reading up on the Prominence wiki, and it was saying that the Gale Force bow is one of the better early game bows you can get until you get crystal bows or something. I'm not sure what those are. But regardless, first thing we have to do is get our archery manual. We're going to need lapis with our spells, because spells are quite powerful. Put that in there. So we're going to get power shot. I think you're going to click all these right. The main one is barrage that we need. Okay, yeah, you can put more than one, so I'll need the lapis here. Still don't know what the final one is, and then 6 lapis for this, so let's grab 4 more lapis. To grab that. Power shot, passive skill. Arrows inflict the target with Hunter's Mark for 5 seconds, increasing damage taken by 5%, stacking up to 3 times. Entangling roots. Conjures roots to sprout from the ground in a nearby area, slowing down enemies for 8 seconds. And barrage. Fire multiple arrows in quick succession. Cool. How do I... Let's see. So if we equip this in our spellbook slot, and we hold our new bow, the Gale Force bow. Right click. Well, that one's passive, so why would I have to right click? And you can't put this one in the offhand, but we have to be holding it for it to work. So if I right click, well, that's passive, so I shouldn't have to. 2 is the thorns. Cool. And then the barrage of arrows is on 3. Let's try it out on these creepers right here. Oh, cool. And some of the cool things about the Gale Force bow is Cloudburst is the special passive on it. Every time you fire, you get speed, and you can also hit, I believe, yeah, it's left alt to dash, and you fire an arrow at the last attack target. So if we take a look at this creeper right here, and then you hit left alt, it'll automatically shoot. Something I'm gonna have to get used to though is, does it auto aim? It does not auto aim. That's the Hunter's Mark. Cool. Let's see, 42. It said it has its own arrows. Does not seem like it does. But now with that, we should be able to fight the Night Lich. We do have a ton of arrows that I purchased from a Fletcher. It's annoying that I can't put the Ender Lead in there. Not sure why it wouldn't let me. It just doesn't want to. Same with this torch. Why can't I stack the torch? So weird. And then we're also going to need our new set of armor, the Netherite Ranger gear. Only 2 pieces are epic. This stuff is really expensive to reroll since it uses netherite. And I think, yeah, I have 1 netherite ingot. And then you need netherite smithing templates to upgrade these as well. It's really expensive. Luckily, I was able to get enough to reroll them at least to rare and epic. I was worried finding a lot of netherite was going to be pretty difficult, but it actually wasn't too bad. As you can see, I have a diamond hammer that mines in a 3x3 area. And you can also craft these ruby potions using ruby crystal shards from the nether to give you Spelunker 3. So we're gonna head into the Nether so I can show you just how easy it is to find a lot of these upgrade materials, such as the pyrite chunks as well. So we're walking down to my netherite mine. I don't even know what those squishy sounds are. It's all the way down here. We got pretty lucky mining down here. Didn't run into too many lava pools, which is very nice. And you can see I've just been mining out quite far, as you could tell. I think in total I had 52 netherite scrap that I burned through to upgrade the gear. We're also going to have to respec, so we actually get the range damage bonus, because if we take a look right here, it should tell you draw speed 120, the base is 100, so we're 20% faster. Range damage 14, which is 10 plus 40%. So we want to get the base damage bonus as well. We're also going to have to upgrade arrows to some of the stronger ones. Although I'm not sure how to do that. I need to check the wiki for which one is said. What is this? Scripting. Interesting. Anyways, so once you're down here, so you can see I've been mining through a lot. One of the best ways I found, at least I was told is very good, is you want to mine in the chunk borders, like so. So this should be a good spot for it. I want to close it, not open it. There we go. And the best tip that makes it really easy to find is netherite, the ore. I forget, what is it? I forget the name of it. Generally spawns in chunks 0 to 3. So the most you can ever have is 3. So you drink the potion and you start moving. So you could see, okay, this is 4. Cinnabar. We don't want cinnabar, so we can ignore it. And if you see something with more than 3, you know you can ignore it. So you just take a look around. You're looking for anything that has 3. That has 4, so that's probably not 1. It could be pyrite. Yeah, like here. Pyrite spawns in bigger chunks. Let's see, there's no, that's all connected. Let's see, is that 2? No. That's 4. Could also be pyrite though. You have to be careful. And it will highlight pretty much any ore, even modded ores as well. Let's see, like this one, that's 1 by itself, which is a pretty high chance it's ancient debris. And it's not, it's sinacite. But anyways, so essentially this is what I was doing. I was just mining these really long tunnels, and I would drink a spelunker potion every once in a while. Let's see, so this could be ancient debris. And it's nether redstone ore. That's annoying. Oh. These are promising, let's see. And that one's connected. That one's not right. Is that by itself? No, it's connected. So you could just keep going like this, and it makes it a lot easier to find it. Although it still takes quite a lot of digging, because as you can see, the range isn't too big. So sometimes when you think you see one, it's actually connected to something else. But let's see if we can find one using this method. And then luckily, making these diamond hammers is really good because you can mine out a much bigger area as well. But we're still not getting any luck here. Let's see, that's by itself, that could be one. And there we go, ancient debris. So there's one there. Although I'm not sure how this fares if you just use the bed method of blowing up the netherrack. Oh, that's not good. I have to run away because I have a void upgrade in our backpack, so we're actually not collecting any of the netherite. And then let's see, how much do we have left on this? 30 seconds, so that's not too bad. They're pretty easy to craft, the potions. Let me show you here. Spelunker potion. Spelunk. That's not what it's called. Spelunk. The ruby potion gives you Spelunker 3 for 3 minutes and gives you haste. And it only costs 7 of these ruby crystal shards. And if you take a look at your minimap, anytime you see one of these big red things, that's a ruby crystal thingamabob. And you can harvest the ruby crystals from there, which makes it really easy to find a lot of ores. So if you were just looking for any ores in the nether, this is really useful. Just a shame it doesn't highlight which ore it is. If it highlighted it through the blocks, it would be probably broken, because then you could specifically see where's the ancient debris. But it does make it go a lot faster, which is very nice. So let's go back. That's Cinnabar. So what I found is, in addition to getting ancient debris, it's also really useful for getting the pirate dust. That way you can craft your reroll materials. So let's head back to the overworld and respec our class for archery. Alright, so we're back at the base. Let's take our knowledge scroll here and reset our class. Your talent tree has been reset. So I did take a look at the Prominence wiki, and I'm pretty much going off of the archery build that they have here. So if I take a look, can I open this in a new tab to make it bigger? Because this is quite small. So for archery, we're going to start with the ranger's path. Then we're going to go down and grab range damage nodes, all the way down until we get to Focus Zone, which is a passive ability. After using the Barrage Bow ability, you enter a state of intense focus. While focused, you move slower when you draw your bow, and it takes longer to fully draw, but it deals significantly more damage. If you use a crossbow, instead you get stealth and marksmanship. So that should be useful. And then we continue going down. We're not going this way, we're going here. So we have 10 points, so we should be able to reach it and grab these other damage nodes as well. To unlock the Fate of Sindorai Heritage, become the master of ranged weapons, increasing your draw speed and making your projectiles more lethal at the cost of making your armor less efficient. So this will give us plus 5 projectile lethality, plus 10% rage damage, plus 200% ranged weapon handling, and minus 50% armor efficiency. And then we're going to pick up the active Rapid Fire, where you enter a firing stance and let loose a flurry of arrows. You can move freely while in this stance, but you cannot take other actions. Requires a bow or crossbow in the main hand and lasts 6 seconds. And if you're corrupted, it increases the duration, and then the 30 plus corruption is every third arrow fired now grants you a stack of marksmanship. Not sure what that is though. Then we're going to grab this range damage here, and then we come back up, and then we grab this range damage, we grab this one, and then we'll continue this way to grab physical damage, lethality, more physical damage, some stamina, and then some armor efficiency. These 3 armor efficiency nodes should kind of balance out the loss in armor efficiency. And then we'll also grab maximum health. Not sure what we need this though. I think it's just for the spell crit chance. Or it could just be there wasn't anything better. I'm not sure because we're not using fire. I guess you can ignore that if you want to go towards more defensive stats with maximum health and armor toughness, but it's kind of up to you. I might do that because I don't really see the main benefit of that so far. Let me put that away. And let's put the Warrior Codex in here so I don't lose it. Put away our Pyrite and anything else. I don't think so. Let's see, we still have a good amount of levels, so we do need to enchant our bow as well. So let's see if we can get some good ones. If we don't, we can also craft the Tome of the Archery. Tome of the Archers to try and get some more targeted enchants. And then we also need to upgrade our armor. Apparently there is magic reduction, so I'm not sure if that applies to the Night Lich, but it probably does. So let's see, that's going to cost a Blaze Rod. Let's see if we can just one-shot it. Power 3 and Chain Reaction 2. Not sure what those do, but that's not bad. At least for the bow. Let's see, what does the guide say? I believe the guide says for the weapon, you want power, obviously. The Dynamo, Growing, Endless Quiver, Bonus Shot, Chain Reaction, and a whole bunch of other stuff. But that's pretty good for now. Let's go ahead and get our armor next. Icy Thorns, that sounds useless. Bag of Souls, Evasion, and Icy Thorns. Guess that's fine. Let's see, that's just warding, that's not that great. This one's really bad, so we're going to reroll that one. Okay, Protection 1 is better than nothing. Definitely don't want something called Cowardice, that sounds terrible. So let's see if we could just grab something off of here. Battle Rouse, Chain Lightning, Chromatic Aberration, Comb Cutter, Committed, Decaying, Efficiency. I thought I had Protection in here. Fire Protection, Multi-Roll. I think you can put that on boots. Yeah, there we go, Protection. So we could have just grabbed Protection here, honestly. How much do I have in here? 15. I think I'm going to do that. So let's just unenchant these. Because right now, we just need to focus on getting Protection. And then we only have 3, so we can do 3 and 1. That should be good for now. We'll put 1 on the boots. Let's see. So we do Netherite, enchantment 4. Let's see. Does it show us our damage reduction? Armor 5.5 because we have a minus 50. And our range damage is 11.53. That's a base of 5, plus 10, plus 10, plus 10, plus 10, and then a whole bunch of plus 3s. What is durability? Not actually sure what that stat means. Don't say we have a max of 1, so I'm not sure what that means. Draw speed has a max of 4. Why are there 2 draw speed stats? Weird. But regardless, we should be a lot tankier now, but mainly with the archer class, you're kind of focused on not taking damage anyway. You just want to be kiting. So we have a bunch of arrows, and let's see. Arrow of Tainted Ambrosia is what it recommends. Don't think we can make those. Of Tainted. Cursed Wounds. Lingering. Oleander. Because I believe this is the one that makes it so... Yeah, it stops bosses from healing. Where do we get Oleander, though? I have not seen Oleander. It is part of Miriam's Souls-like weaponry, but I would think that it kind of just spawns around. Regardless, I think we're pretty strong now. And if you hit X, we can try out our barrage ability. Cool. And it does proc our passive with the bow to make us move faster. If I try to do this in third person mode, yeah, we kind of move pretty slowly. Like, that's our running speed. Are you sure? What? There we go. Oh, that's weird. If I'm in third person, I can't sprint using double tap forward. Sprint hold. Toggle. What's my keybind for sprint? Left control. Okay, there we go. That's weird. I'm used to just being able to hit double tap forward to sprint. I wonder why that doesn't work in third person. But we can toggle it, so now if you're kiting like this... Awesome, that does work. So we should be able to kite the Night Lich a lot easier now. So let's see if we can fight this guy and beat our second boss. Alright, so as soon as we spawn in, we're gonna get attacked by a multitude of creatures. With all of this gear... Wait, if I hold the weapon, does it go up? With all of this, it's saying our item... Okay, there it goes. Set updated. It says our item level is 360. We're pretty fast, though. A shame I didn't get plus speed on my boots. These two have plus 10% speed. There must be a trinket to increase... Oh, there is a trinket to increase speed. Yeah, there's running shoes, but I haven't found any. So it looks like they can spawn from an armorer's chest, the merchant campsite, a warm ocean ruin, the sky village. Inject village armor or loot chest. So I'm thinking this just means the armor loot chest. Which means I'm gonna have to go searching for a lot of chests, because I'll need these running boots. They increase your movement speed by a lot, which is really powerful. But regardless, let's see if we can beat the Night Lich this time. Let's see, I don't know where he's at. Okay, he's over there. I'm gonna stay away from the ice, I think, because it keeps breaking on us. Yeah, we're a lot faster. This is actually really useful. Okay, it's not helpful if I can't even hit these guys. Okay, we do good damage though. Okay, barrage is kind of useless because it goes in front of us. But I can kite really well. We're faster than those guys. Okay, that one hurts. But we didn't take... It didn't one-shot us though, which is really cool. Yeah, I gotta take shots and run. Like that, so I can gain the movement speed. Oh, he's doing some fancy stuff. I hit the Windows key. Okay, this barrage ability is not that great, honestly. Because it makes you fire in front, which is not that awesome. Okay, take out those guys. The Night Lich isn't healing too much. Okay, those guys still hurt though. Oh. That's not good. We need to quickly get out of the water here. I can't see. We got him. What kind of loot do we get? Bunch of stuff. Challenge completed. The Night Vanquisher. See, that's how a boss fight is supposed to go. Not like the other dude, where I kind of just ran in, ignored all the lava damage because I'm immune to lava, and then face tanked him until he died. But this is annoying. Because this ability, yeah, you kind of have to do this with this ability. Like, you have to be looking at them, so I can't kite backwards like this. I can shoot like that, but I can't kite backwards and do it, which I thought would be a lot of the power of this ability. But anyways, he's dead. Let's head back to our base and see what we got. Let's collect our arrows. We didn't even burn through that many. Could probably forego... No, you probably still want infinity for the enchanted arrows. That way you don't have to waste a lot of resources crafting them. There we go. Oh, you could also see I added a waypoint to the queen bee so I could teleport there. Oh, I thought I deleted it. Because if you're wondering how to get the ranger gear yourself, it's actually pretty cheap. It's just a little annoying. So for the ranger set, you're going to need scute and rabbit hide in addition to leather. And getting rabbit hide, I don't know why it's so low of a chance. You're gonna need looting on a sword to kill rabbits to get this with like a good amount. But if you have access to the queen bee, you can throw rotten flesh to trade it at a 11% chance, which is how I got a lot of it. And then all of that stuff is pretty easy to get. And then for the scute, you can actually, there's a villager trade for it with the archery artisan. That lets you trade 20 for 3. And then if you have gear like the villager hat, it costs like 13 for 3 scute, which is really cheap. He also sells arrows pretty cheap as well. I believe you can get like 16 arrows for a single emerald, which is really good value. Let's see what we got from the boss. Chain reaction, aqua affinity, fire protection, fast spin, 2 ancient anima. Your crossbow may be fired additional times per reload. And it looks like 5 diamonds. Cool stuff. What is this for? Staff of suppression, the table of elevation. When placed, grants creative flight in a 7x7 column. You do need a blazing eye though, which doesn't look like you can craft it, which means there's probably a different boss that drops it. But now we can cross that one off the list. And we probably should use the hardening catalyst on our bow. That way it never breaks. But it is pretty cheap to repair. To repair the bow, you just have to use the moonstone or the other stone. To re-roll it, it's really cheap though. It just costs iron ingots. But now that that guy is defeated, the next boss on the list is going to be Gauntlet, First Herald of the Nether. This boss has strong hits and may one-shot you if you play on normal or hard. Try to dodge or craft defensive potions. So I do have our resistance potion, so we'll probably use that for this upcoming fight. Let's leave the diamonds, put that in there. Oh, and a good tip for finding diamonds. There's a lot of these, you could probably see one over here. There's a lot of these flying islands. These flying islands have usually 4 to 5 diamond nodes in addition to emerald, redstone, iron, and coal. And they spawn really often, like especially when you're over the ocean where they're easy to see. Like, it makes it really easy to get diamonds extremely fast for basically no effort, because you just fly up to it or tower up to it. Well, if you have to tower, it's a bit more effort. But for how much diamonds you get, it's way faster than strip mining. But you can also just go exploring, you know, dungeons and stuff for diamonds as well. That's also a really good place to do it. So let's see. So, for the next boss, it might be a little bit, and I say a little bit, it might be more difficult. Why am I looking down like that? Why am I stuck looking down? Why can't I look up? That's weird. It's gonna be a little bit more annoying because with the Night Lich, I had a lot of room to kite and run around. This guy is in a much more contained space. I still think we'll be fine because we're pretty tanky. At least now we are. And with the Resistance 3 potion, we're gonna gain another 60% damage reduction. So I think we'll be fine. Just depends on how much damage he actually does. Now, while I was doing our netherite mining, our ancient debris farming, one would say, I was able to locate the boss summoning structure. Was there something specific I had to do, though? Shatter its eye and unleash it. So I think I just have to break something to open it up. Not actually sure. I fought this guy in Cisco's mod, but I don't remember if you have to actually do something to awaken him. So let's come out over here. And if you're wondering why that guy is glowing, it's because he one-shot me. So I left him over there. So as you can see, while I was mining over here, I came across the structure, and I made a way in somewhere. I think it's over here. Ah, here it is. Huh, I thought I plugged up all the lava. So this is the structure. The boss is this guy in the center. As you can see, it said break the eye. So I'm thinking what I need to do to make this fight easier is we need to clean up the arena of a lot of these obstacles and flatten it out so I can more easily run around the arena and kite him. Luckily, the diamond hammer should make that pretty easy to do. Although I'm not sure if I should break the basalt columns, because I think he can get stuck on them, which is really useful. But I do have to chop down like the tree and stuff. So we're going to clean up the arena, and we'll be back in a second. Alright, the arena is cleared up. I think we're all set to fight this guy. So we have resistance 3 for 45 seconds. I don't see the fight lasting that long, but just in case, I'll have a second one. I should probably also get potions of regeneration. Where did I get this staff from? I'll worry about that later. So, it said we have to break the eye and to get this started. So once I break the eye, how am I gonna... We'll just run up this way. So let's see. Okay, it's active. Drink our potion. Okay, definitely a good idea to leave the beams. Because I don't know what that was. But it does not seem like it was a good thing. Oop. I really love this Gale Force. Having the dash built in is really good. And there we go. Through the gauntlet, done. And he explodes into netherrack and a chest. Okay, luckily we didn't even take a hit, so I don't know how much damage he would have done to us. But it's always good to be safe rather than sorry. And I gotta say, playing a ranged class makes fighting bosses way easier. If I was still trying to do the melee class, I don't know if I could do this. At least not without a lot more work. Oh, and there's the blazing eye. He also drops a tundra hood and the netherite jade necklace. Cool, so that's gonna boost our damage even further, because right now we're wearing our luck necklace. So that's gonna give us an extra 8% damage. Let's see, where's our damage at right now? Range damage is at 12.9 with a base of 5. So we're at like 120% range damage bonus. I wonder if there's a way to increase that flat amount. And now that we have the blazing eye, we can make that table of elevation, which is cool. Blast amplifier. When placed, increases explosion power by 30% in any 64 block direction. This effect cannot stack. Oh, cool. Obsidian heart. So that comes from a different boss. Levels gilded netherite fragment, a netherite ingot, and another cinderstone trophy. So now that that's done, looks like the next boss on the list is Jean the Fallen Dragon. Jean, once a noble and great emerald dragon, hath succumbed to the dark tendrils of the void. Now corrupted and consumed by the void's wrath, she dwelleth at the heart of the end, now known as the Ender Dragon. She is no simple feat, for the void hath bestowed her formidable powers driven by a strong and unquenchable rage known as the Ender. To unlock the ancient portal to the end, thou must seek out 12 of the 16 unique eyes. These eyes are scattered throughout the world, the vast expanse of the overworld, and the burning depths of the Nether. Alright, so I guess we're headed to the Nether next. Which is interesting, because that's where we're going to get our Galena, which I guess pushes us to tier 3. So tier 1 and 2 actually went by pretty quickly in regards to what bosses you fight. Let's get rid of this nether rack. But pretty easy. What do you use the gilded netherite for? Upgrade material for netherite armor. Netherite, gilded netherite, 3310. Stays the same, it just adds more durability. But you do need the gilded upgrade. It is cool though. Won't say no to free loot. But alright, we're off to the end next. There's definitely more bosses though, so I'm surprised the next one is just, yeah, go to the end. Must just be how it's set up. But anyways, let's see if we can head up here. In order to get to the end, much like in Liminal Industries, we're going to have to collect the unique Ender Eyes. As you've seen in my chest before, I do have quite a couple already just from exploring, because that's how they basically want you to get them. I do have a general idea of where to get the other ones though. They usually spawn in like temple structures. What's that guy doing? So we head back in. They usually spawn in temple structures, which is why I found a couple already. Oh, and I just realized, if you're wondering how I'm getting the bow to fire really quickly, you'll notice it says auto fire hook in green. That's actually an item. Auto fire. Right here. It's a very cheap item, but you craft this and then using an anvil, you could put it on a ranged weapon like any bow, and you don't have to keep letting go of right click, it automatically does it for you. So if we take a look, you can see, put that in there, that's fine. Let's dump this in as well. We're gonna put these in our library. Keep the ores in the ores. You can see we have the corrupted eye, and I thought I had that. There we go, the Nether eye. So if we type end remastered, it should show us all the eyes. Oh, end remastered. There we go. Wonder why once I started typing master it didn't work. So you can see we have the Nether eye, the corrupted eye, and I think that's it. So you can see there's 16 unique eyes, and we're gonna need 12 of them. So we have 2, and it shouldn't be that difficult to get the other ones. Let's see, the undead eye, undead soul. I think this one you make from killing the wither. So I think I have enough wither skeleton heads somewhere in here. 2 in here. Do I not have any more? I could have swore I had at least 3. Huh. I guess not. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure we get the undead eye, because this is a gas tier. Yeah, we have all of this stuff. I'm pretty sure the undead soul is a drop from the wither, which makes sense, because it is the undead eye, and generally in other packs, that's how you get it, by killing the wither. Then we'll need the witch eye, which is ender eye, and a witch pupil, which I think I have a witch pupil. It's a rare drop from a witch. I think I got one already. Witch pupil. Because I definitely remember reading that. There it is, the witch pupil. And then you had to put it on an ender eye. So let me grab blaze powder. I think we have one in here. Perfect. Awesome. There's the witch eye. Then the black eye is from the pirates. The cold eye from the isologers. The corrupted eye. The lost eye. The old eye from the sandworms, which so probably desert. The rogue eye is in a jungle temple. The cursed eye, I'm surprised I haven't found one yet, is generally in the piglin's bastion. The holy eye, I think you get from the guardian eye, you kill the guardian. The magical eye is from the evoker. Oh no, there is a wither eye. Then how do you get the undead eye? There's definitely a boss that drops that. The exotic eye you have to craft using 2 conduits. And then the cryptic eye, we need 100 arcana quanta and at least 30 Eterna to craft that one. Interesting. So I wonder how you get the other ones. Let's see. Soul weaponry. Why did something... Oh, there's that. But I don't see collectibles. Maybe it's in here. Oh, I didn't collect this one. Get a brush. No, it's not these. Let's see, where are the eyeballs? Explorers. Guess not. It's not telling us how to get the other ones, which is interesting. Oh, well this one just shows it. Igloo chest. So I need to find igloos. Also has other loot in here. Aquamarine upgrade. Interesting. But alright, I guess our next step is locating the end portal. And I wonder why we're stuck looking down. It's so weird. So our next step is going to be collecting the remaining Eyes of Ender and entering the end to fight the dragon. I'm your host, Amish28, and I'll see you guys next time.